Hello, my gentlemen. They told you it was in your head. Every time. Too many questions, too much memory, too sharp to ignore. They smiled while saying it. Calm voices, clean faces, hands folded like nothing was wrong. And for a while, they almost convinced you. But something changed. A file surfaced, a pattern aligned. A piece that never existed suddenly couldn't be erased. Proof, not loud, not dramatic, just undeniable. The kind that makes rooms go quiet. The kind that makes confident people check exits they never needed before. You weren't crazy, you were early, and now the same ones who called you unstable are rearranging their stories. Carefully, too carefully, because proof doesn't ask permission, it doesn't need belief, it just waits until the right moment to be seen. Do you feel it? That shift in posture around you? That sudden politeness? That's fear learning your name. Justice doesn't arrive with sirens. It arrives with silence, with eyes avoiding yours, with people pretending they always knew you were right. And now they're coming. Not to help you, not to apologize, to control what happens next. Stay here, because this isn't about revenge. It's about what happens when the truth stops whispering and starts walking toward the room. They didn't attack you. They adjusted the room, lowered their voices, softened their eyes, spoke slowly, like you were fragile. Crazy isn't shouted, it's suggested. A pause before answering, a look exchanged, a sentence that starts with, "Are you sure?" They didn't disprove you. They discredited you, not with facts, with tone, with repetition. Same denial, different day. You noticed patterns. They called it imagination. You remember details. They called it obsession. Every calm face was a checkpoint. Every quiet room, another invisible test. Not testing truth, testing endurance. How long before you soften? How long before you rephrase? How long before you say, "Maybe I was wrong"? Sanity became a moving target. Every time you reached it, they stepped back, smile intact, hands clean. They didn't need to convince others, only you, because once doubt enters, it multiplies. You start rehearsing explanations no one asked for. You lower your certainty to sound reasonable. That was the trap, not madness, management. They weren't watching your claims. They were watching your reactions, your posture, your tone, your hesitation. The test wasn't obvious. That's why it worked. And the cruelest part, you passed every time by staying calm, by staying rational, by staying quiet. They weren't proving you wrong. They were training you to doubt. It didn't arrive loudly. No alarms, no dramatic entrance. The truth doesn't scream, it documents. A file saved twice, a timestamp that refused to move, a message left untouched. While they rehearsed denial, the proof stayed patient, hidden in routine, buried in repetition. Not a confession, a pattern. One fragment alone, dismissible. Two, coincidence, but alignment is dangerous. Screens begin to glow. In rooms that were once confident, silence stretches where certainty used to sit. They scroll slower now, read twice, zoom in, because this isn't accusation, it's sequence. And sequences don't argue. The irony? They taught you this: document everything, keep records, stay objective. So you did. While they laughed, you archived. While they smiled, you saved versions. Proof didn't need belief, it needed time. That's when the shift begins. Dismissal turns cautious, cautious turns quiet. Meetings rescheduled, eyes avoiding contact. Questions asked sideways, not "Is this real?" but "Who else saw this?" Panic doesn't shout, it reorganizes. Folders renamed, stories edited, blame prepared. But the evidence stays still, cold, unbothered, because facts don't chase, they wait. And now, with everything aligned, with every fragment speaking. The narrative fractures, not from force, from precision. And suddenly, the story they controlled can't hold itself together anymore. They watched you first, always did. From behind glass, from quiet rooms, from seats without names, they controlled perception, angles, timing, narratives. You were the subject. They were the lens, until the lens cracked. Because the observers never expect to be observed. That's the flaw. Locked doors start appearing, where access used to be casual. Meetings move late, then later. Eyes don't meet anymore. Glances dart, smiles stiffen. You feel it, not told, felt. The air changes. When control slips, they shuffle papers that no longer matter. Lower voices that still echo. Every move now is reaction. That's panic, not screaming, repositioning. The secret clubs sense it first. Membership lists tightening, signals changing. Because leaks don't come from enemies, they come from inside. And suddenly, everyone is inside. They test loyalty in silence, watch who hesitates, who breathes wrong. But suspicion spreads faster than discipline. The watchers start watching each other. That's when it collapses. Not with impact, with paranoia. You don't confront them. You don't need to. Your existence is enough pressure. Because once perception is no longer theirs, control becomes theater. And theater collapses. The moment the audience knows it's staged. No announcement, no warning, just a snap. The balance didn't tip. It didn't lean. It snapped. Something changed. Not outside, inside, quietly. The doubt didn't vanish. It dissolved, one breath at a time. You stopped replaying conversations, stopped fixing your tone, stopped proving what never needed proof. That's when they noticed. Not when you argued, not when you explained. When you went still, stillness unsettles. People who rely on noise, your breathing slowed, your thoughts aligned, your posture changed without permission. Clarity does that. No rush, no urgency. Just certainty settling in. They tried to bait you, questions disguised as concern, silence disguised as support. You didn't bite, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. The patterns, the pauses, the pressure points. Everything that once confused you now reads like instructions they forgot to erase. This is the reversal. Doubt collapses. When certainty stops asking for approval, you're not louder, you're cleaner, not reactive, precise. They feel it before they understand it. The shift doesn't announce itself, it graduates. No applause, no ceremony, just a line crossed that never moves back. You don't chase validation, you don't collect nods. You don't need witnesses to know you passed. Because the moment you stopped exply, Ning, the test ended and the room felt smaller. Listen closely, the noise changed. They still talk, they always will, but now they listen. Not openly, not proudly, carefully. Influence doesn't announce itself. When it shifts, it rearranges the room. Conversations pause. When you enter, decisions linger until you weigh nothing at all. That's alignment. What once dismissed you now calibrates around you. Controlled chaos, systems adjusting without admitting why. Hierarchies get rewritten in pencil, erasures everywhere. Old titles still exist, old authority still speaks, but it doesn't land because power moved off the surface. The monsters feel it first. They pace, they posture, they bare teeth at empty air. Then they notice. The cage door is open, and nobody told them. Who opened it? You don't confront, you don't claim, you don't demand. You attract. Eyes follow, silence defers, momentum bends. That's the real shift, not domination. Gravity. They lean toward you without realizing they're already off balance. Fear shows up disguised as curiosity. Respect hides. behind delayed responses. They still speak your name, just softer. Because when power realigns, justice doesn't chase, it attracts. Now watch closely. This is where masks fall. They start saying the word with care. Justice. Not because they believe in it, because they need it. They don't fear punishment, they fear exposure. That's the difference. Punishment ends. Exposure lives. You say, it, in the forced cooperation. Hands shaking, while offering help. Voices suddenly aligned, rules suddenly important. Accountability, used like a shield. They rush to be seen, on the right side, before sides even form. That's not morality, that's insurance. The calm unsettles them most. No shouting, no threats, no revenge theater. Just truth, held steady. Truth becomes a weapon, only when it's quiet, because silence leaves nowhere to hide. They volunteer details, nobody asked for. Explain motives, nobody questioned. Guilt does that. Justice becomes loud when conscience is weak. Demands echo, committees form, statements circulate, all urgency, no control. They call it fairness, they call it reform. But listen deeper, the loudest demands come from the guiltiest hands. Look at it now, quiet, not empty, settled. Sanity wasn't proven by shouting, it was proven by surviving the distortion. Proof didn't arrive like salvation, it arrived like structure, piece by piece, unarguable, and justice. It followed gravity. They called you crazy, now they quote you. Your words circulate, without your name attached. Your ideas reused by people who once dismissed them. That's legacy, not applause, imitation. Every scar became a blueprint, every fracture, a line they now follow. They redraw the map, using your footsteps as reference. You don't rush them, you don't correct them. You watch, because calm after chaos is the loudest proof there is. They rewrite the story, again ND again. Softer each time, safer each time, still behind, always behind, because the world will keep rewriting the story, just never fast enough to catch you.